We are an average of the 5 people closest to us. Call it a network, call it a clan, call it a group, call it a tribe. Whatever you call it, we all need one because it makes you who you are and who you want to be. So who are those 5 people closest in your network that sum up you as a person? Hi, I'm Anika, and this is Rewrite Your Story. Today's episode 22, and this is part 8 of the 12-part series in which we're taking a deep dive into a really fun category, social relationships in our world that contribute towards designing the blueprint of the life that we want to live using the lifebook model. So let's hit it and let's look at the social relationships in our life. Now, when I talk about social relationships, here I'm referring to the relationships that we have with friends as well as with extended family. Now, we covered love relationship in episode 21, which is with your partner, and we covered parenting or family relationships in episode 21, which is about either being a parent or being the role model for the younger members in your family or in your community, in your world. Today, we're going to look at the social relationships. So extended family, we don't really choose, and we don't really have much flexibility perhaps on changing them. Friends, however, we have full liberty to choose. So why not have the friends that make our life filled with joy, happiness, relationships which are energizing, empowering, instead of emotionally draining, or those that feel really heavy and taxing on us? The choice is yours on what kind of friends do you want to have. Friends who you can lean on, friends who you can learn from, friends that you can grow with, friends that you can confide in without any fear of judgment. So, what does your extended family and friends network look like? Does it contribute to who you are and who you want to be? I have been quite fortunate over the years to have wonderful relationships across various countries and across different stages of my life. I've had friends that I've known since high school, friends who know every secret of mine, friends who've been partners in crime, friends I've known since high school, through university, through the growing pains of the different stages of life, from being a student to being part of the corporate world, to getting married, to dating, to becoming parents, all of that. It's all part of learning and it's all part of growing. I've also had the opportunity to learn from my peers, from my colleagues, from my bosses, who have contributed so much, not just in the professional realm, but also as people, as leaders, as intellectuals, as visionaries. I've also had friends who have supported and pushed me beyond my imagination to overcome limitations that I didn't even know that I had. If it wasn't for friends, I would never have discovered my love for the outdoors, my love for the mountains, my feeling of freedom on hiking and trekking. If you haven't checked out episode 1 of Rewrite Your Story, in which I introduce myself and give you a snapshot of my personal transformation journey, you'll find in it was because of friends that I decided to transform myself on health and fitness and take on some challenging hiking and trekking goals when I had been absolutely a non-gym, a non-health conscious, and definitely a non-camping or a non-outdoors kind of person. I would never have discovered it without them at all. It was never even on my bucket list. It was never in my wildest dreams. And it was getting out there to the mountains, which was the start of my personal transformation journey. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that experience. So, what kind of relationships are you harboring, nurturing, and investing into your life that are pushing you beyond your limitations, that are propelling you forward? We're going to use the PVPS model out of Lifebook, in which we'll define the premise, the vision, the purpose, and the strategy for the social relationships category of our life. Let's see how we do this. So, starting with premise. What is the foundation of social relationships in your life? What do they mean to you? What are your beliefs around the connections that you have with your extended family and with your friends? What are you willing to invest in terms of your time, your energy, your emotions into these relationships? How does the overall quality of your life get impacted by the quality of the connections and the relationships that you have with your extended family and your friends? Together, I've had 4 a.m. friends, I've had non-judgmental friends, and I've had no bullshit friends. And I hope you have them too, because we are social beings. It is a basic core human need to have good quality social relationships in our world. Just the other day, I reached out to a dear cousin of mine. I started on this channel. I was interested in getting some constructive feedback. So not just feedback from my friends or people that I know, but I reached out to members of my extended family who know me well and who I know well, where we've grown together through some of life's challenges, where we've shared some of our burning desires, where we've shared some of those challenging moments that life has posed to us. We've leaned upon each other. We've been there for each other, and we support each other without judgment. Now, when I say I reached out to my cousin for some constructive feedback, I wasn't looking for validation of the content that I was putting together. I wasn't looking for a, hey, good job, and wow. What I was looking for is this relatable to you? Does it make sense to you? Do you have any feedback on what would make this more interesting to you? What did he do? My dear cousin brother took a couple of hours out of his precious time, watched through the videos, and sent me a long bullet list of various suggestions and comments. That's constructive feedback. He has taken time to invest into my growth and my improvement. Do you have those kind of relationships in your world, in your network? Let's take a look at what kind of vision can you define for yourself. You've probably heard or experienced it yourself, how people change when they move cities, states, countries, jobs, neighborhoods. Why? It's because of the network effect. It's because of the people that they're spending their time with. It's because of the environment that is created by the people that they live and are surrounded by. They say, if you want to get smarter, hang around with people who are smarter than you. If you've got some big financial goals and a design for a blueprint with a huge financial success for yourself, hang around with people who are richer and successful than you so that you can learn from them. It's important to have social relationships that can propel us forward. But in order to do that, we need to know who we want to become so that we know what type of friends we're looking for. What kind of relationships do we want to invest our time and emotions into? My mantra has become change so much in 3 months that friends that haven't met you in 3 months, have to get to know you all over again. Now, if I want to change so much consistently and constantly, I need to be around with people that are committed to that kind of personal transformation so that I can grow with them and contribute to their journeys as well. Thus, I surround myself with a network of like-minded people in my entrepreneurial business, in my coaching business, in my health and fitness goals, in my intellectual goals. There are different communities where I have friends that contribute to various categories of my life. And collectively, they bring in positive impact to the overall quality of life that I am able to create for myself today. So how do we define this vision for yourself? To start with, you want to start with assessing and reviewing the relationships in your extended family and your social network today. Are they contributing to your personal goals and your personal desires of the ideal version of yourself that you aspire to be? Do you feel that your friends are bringing a positive impact to your world and that you are bringing in return a positive impact to their world? Or do you find yourself emotionally drained with the relationships in your world? Do you look forward to catching up, spending time, investing time in your relationships? Or do you look at those invitations as something obligatory and you're always looking for a way to avoid them? Or go to the event, go to the gathering, but start looking at your watch and start looking at what is going to be my exit strategy out of here. Those are the kind of relationships that are not adding any positive value to your world or to the world of others. Those are the kind of relationships that you want to take action on and replace. Are your relationships one-sided or are they mutually contributing? Now, when we're talking about extended family, these are relationships that are not so easy to change or to remove from our address book. But what we can do is set boundaries so that expectations can be managed better. As far as friends, if they lack the meaningful connection, you're doing them no favors by staying in that relationship. People change. You do not want to choose your friends based on the identity that they relate to, but based on what do they bring to the table. That is how you define the vision of the type of relationships that you want within your social network.